The garage was already humming with the metallic rhythm of wrenches and clanging tools when Jake Carter clocked in that Thursday morning, expecting another day of oil changes, brake jobs, and the usual gruff banter with his boss, Monroe. It was mid-morning when the front door creaked open and in shuffled an elderly woman, her back slightly stooped, pushing a faded blue Schwinn bicycle that looked like it had seen better decades. The front tire wobbled with every step, the chain hung loose like a broken necklace, and the frame bore the kind of scratches that spoke of years of faithful service. She introduced herself as Mrs. Wallace, her voice trembling as she explained that the chain had snapped halfway to the grocery store. Jake noticed the scuffs on her shoes, the faint fray of her cardigan cuff steeds that told him she probably couldn't afford a repair bill. Without a second thought, he wheeled the bike to his workbench, pulled on his gloves, and set to work. He cleaned and replaced the chain, straightened the wheel alignment, adjusted the brakes, and pumped the tires until they were firm and road-ready. Mrs. Wallace watched with soft gratitude, murmuring thanks as she clutched her purse. When the job was done, she reached for her wallet, but Jake shook his head with a smile. "Don't worry about it, ma'am. You're good to go." Her eyes glistened, and she wished him a blessed day before pedaling slowly out of the shop. But the warm glow of kindness lasted only an hour. Monroe stormed in from the office, his face red as an overheated engine. "What's this I hear about you giving away free work?" he barked, his voice cutting through the garage like a saw blade. Jake tried to explain it was just a bike. The parts cost next to nothing, but Monroe's jaw tightened. "This is a business, Carter, not a charity. If you can't follow policy, you can't work here." The words landed like a punch. Monroe pointed toward the door, and Jake, stunned, gathered his toolbox and left without another word. The midday sun was bright and hot as he walked home, the scent of grease still on his hands, his mind replaying the scene. Fired for fixing an old woman's bike, he almost laughed at the absurdity of it, but somewhere deep down, he wondered if maybe, just maybe, life had a way of turning such moments into something bigger. Jake was nursing his first cup of coffee the next morning, still replaying the events of the day before, when a deep, synchronized rumble rolled down his quiet suburban street. He stepped to the window and froze. Turning the corner in perfect formation were 7 identical black SUVs, their tinted windows glinting in the early sunlight like the eyes of some mechanical beast. They moved slowly, deliberately, before stopping in a tight line across the front of his driveway, effectively blocking any way out. The neighborhood seemed to hold its breath. Curtains twitched, front doors cracked open, and someone down the street muttered, "What on earth?" Jake's stomach tightened. Men in dark suits stepped out of each vehicle with precision, their shoes polished, their expressions unreadable. One of them, tall and broad-shouldered with salt and pepper hair, walked toward Jake's porch and knocked, firmly, 3 times. Jake opened the door cautiously, ready to insist they had the wrong house. "Mr. Carter?" the man asked in a deep, even voice. Jake nodded. "I'm Daniel Wallace," the man continued, offering his hand. "My mother told me what you did for her yesterday, fixed her bike, refused payment, treated her with kindness." Jake blinked, realization dawning. "Mrs. Wallace, she's my mother," Daniel said, a faint smile softening his otherwise businesslike tone. "I run Wallace Motors, and I value people who do the right thing, even when no one's watching." He gestured to the SUVs behind him. "These gentlemen are my operations team. We've been looking for someone to head our vintage vehicle restoration division: cars, motorcycles, even bicycles. It's yours if you want it. Full salary, benefits, the works." Jake stared, caught between disbelief and laughter. Less than 24 hours ago, he'd been fired for helping her. Now her son was offering him a dream job. "Why me?" Jake asked finally. Daniel's smile widened. "Because skill is important, but integrity, that's priceless." They shook hands, the deal sealed right there on the porch. As the men returned to their SUVs and engines roared to life, Jake caught sight of his neighbor across the street, gaping in open-mouthed shock. On impulse, Jake called out with a grin, "Guess I'm employed again." The SUVs pulled away in a slow, commanding procession, leaving behind the quiet hum of a street that would be buzzing with gossip for weeks. Jake stepped back inside, coffee forgotten, heart racing, not from fear this time, but from the sudden dizzying sense that life had just shifted into high gear.